When I learned of the opportunity to be involved in this job, it was super exciting for us and my family especially. This is an iconic building in Arlington. This is a wonderful part of our community. It's been a treasure as long as I've been alive, having grown up here.
Our needs was that we need to have a new roof, basically. This roof is the first roof of the building. So with that, we needed a reliable partner that can help us with a good roofing solution.
Because the job was such a formidable job and there was so many parts and pieces to it, we were happy to work with the Mount Olive leadership team. We all came together and we strategized together. We knew that we were the best contractor to take care of their project. We just needed to prove to them why.
I went through about 75 different roofing vendors, and each vendor had to have the qualifications of a 4.5 viewing ratings or higher, had the ability to perform a national scope of work, along with being specialized in metal roofing. Joe Hall Roofing exhibited a very personal illustration of how they could do it.
They basically had a mock kit of our roof and how the actual product would go on top of our roof. And so that pretty much sold everybody.
So when they told us the different quality of the product, the products that they were going to put up there, and they demonstrated how it's going to work up there, we trusted that. And well, we looked at this, we're going to replace the whole roof. We had a steeple. So we thought that was going to be another group of folks that would help us with that. Well, Joe Hall took on that challenge for us. We were hands off on it, and they gave us a turnkey process that we could do everything through Joe Hall. It was a great partnership that they went above and beyond the call of duty.
So when we first thought about this job, the thing that comes to your mind is formidable. It's a formidable job. There's a lot here to do. Putting together the existing flat roofs and the single plies with the metals and with the steeple, in which the metal was under the steeple, all began to create new challenges and opportunities for a company like Joe Hall Roofing to solve. The insurance claim was an issue because the claim was done some time ago, and those numbers that were offered back at the original onset of the job versus when we became involved in the job had definitely changed.
They had mislabeled part of the product on the job as a simple metal. This metal that's on this roof is a really specialized product. We were able to get the church a little extra money just by showing them what is actually on the building.
Educating Mount Olive on their situation and helping them become the best advocate for themselves was probably one of the most important items, and I was happy to be involved in that. Understanding metal is a challenge at Mount Olive. The panel that they had was a special two-process coating panel. Each of those components matter to the final price.
Cost is important, but it was more about quality because we've been having roof issues for years. And we wanted to make sure that when we make a decision to get a roof system, that the next time discussing this roof was probably my grandkids.
Another unique aspect of the church was we couldn't take the panels off that are there now. So initially we had to get involved with a couple of engineers, structural engineers, to make sure that what we wanted to do for the church was going to actually be structurally sound and we'd be able to do it.
We actually went through 2 engineers that wouldn't even take the project to finally find one.
Once that was determined, then we were ready to go full bore on the project.
Everything is pretty much a challenge on something this size, this big. The height has a lot to do with it, the pitch of the roof. It can seem intimidating at times.
Really, one of the first things that had to happen was the steeple had to come off. Lots of leaks in the steeple area. It was old. It needed to be replaced.
The steeple was essential that it had to be removed in order to roof in the hole that was left from the original construction.
Once we pulled the steeple down, we determined that the steeple also had some hail damage on it. So we submitted all that information to the insurance carrier, and the insurance carrier ended up paying for a new steeple for the church. We've done some steeple work before, but this was the biggest one we've done.
Standing seam panels were roll formed on site to basically cut back on shipping costs and so forth.
We've had quite a few windy days. 40-foot panel and wind it's a huge fight.
So we built a 36-foot long panel pallet. It would mount to the front of a telehandler, and then we could actually lift it up and then match the pitch angle to the roof slope to where the panels just slid straight up parallel to the roof surface.
First thing that came into my mind before we started this project is safety.
Safety priority for Joe Hall Roofing is at the top of the list.
We were OSHA complied with everything. Made sure the guys had harnesses. We made sure they were also updated as well because we wanted them to be safe. Every morning we have a toolbox talk with these two crews. We have an hour talk about safety and making sure everything is straightened out with them, testing out the equipment as well, making sure everything's intact for them. Also have roof anchors to install on the flat roof itself, tie down into it so our guys can be tied off on it.
Having all of your anchors in place, appropriately set at the appropriate spacing, allowed them to be able to work still close together, still be safe, and get the job done. Communication is a big key.
There was a lot of communication, a lot of planning that had to be done in advance.
This type of project was unique. We had to work with two trades, so we all had to coordinate together to come up with a plan.
This type of project from start to finish really is a team effort with everyone in our office.
Basically, we ran a church with, operations, and Joe Hall Roofing basically accommodated us from start to finish.
As much notice as we had, we gave to Joe Hall, and they didn't say that, hey, we have to stick to this because this is a part of our contractual deal. They were very flexible, and we appreciate that portion of them working with us on that.
The very first draw invoice we received, it had some great technical jargon on there, but I asked Brother Allen, I said, what does this mean? I understand the 25% complete, but what all the other acronyms mean? And so what Heather did, she actually redid that invoice and put some more layman terms in there. So any invoice after that, when I received it, I knew exactly what was being said. During this whole process, they always put us in a situation where we felt they were working with us, which is a true partnership and a blessing in itself.
Everything is a grade A. I think if nothing's perfect, but we haven't found that fault yet. So when you buy something new, once you get to working through the things in the newness, you find things that need to be adjusted. And I know that they've opened their arms and let me know that if we do find something, they will be here to make sure it's right. And I would also recommend others to you guys in the future.
All the great things that you hear about Joe Hall Roofing, it's all true.
This job involved the integration of almost every piece of know-how. Simply put, the craftsmanship in which one has to deliver on a project like this makes this project stand out. There's nothing inexpensive about a standing seam roof, and when you choose to consider one, you know that you want everything to be right. Part of the reward that I see now is how happy they are, how they understand the process, how they came together with us, and we did succeed, and we're so happy that we have a great team here at Mount Olive that we know we'll work with from this point forward.